There are some things that you do that you probably do not know that is a sign of low self-esteem or is an esteem issue. For example, if somebody says, "Oh, your hair is fine, it's so beautiful on you," and you say, "Ah, really? And it's also expensive. I just got it for so amount." Who asked you? Is that what they said? "Your hair is fine, thank you. Take compliment. Bye." Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Estelle. If this is your first time here, kindly click the subscribe button below. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the causes and effects of low self-esteem and the things that we do that we do not know that are low self-esteem. I'm also going to be talking about how to improve your self-esteem. Self-esteem is the overall opinion you have of yourself, while low self-esteem is having a poor perception of yourself or your self-worth. Number one cause of low self-esteem has to be childhood experience. Most of us, especially growing up in an African home, we did not grow up in a home where people validate your feelings, people speak positively. I'm not talking about prayer right now. Yeah, we grew up with praying parents, and this is not a general view. I'm just talking about 80% or let's say an average. I don't know how you grew up here. So most parents do not know how to validate their kids' feelings, praise them for the little things they do. This can aggravate into a poor perception of yourself or your self-worth. Another major cause of low self-esteem has to be negative comparisons. Now, social media has made that very easy for everyone. We tend to compare ourselves to people we see online or wherever, and we forget that nobody's life is actually as perfect as is painted. And also we also tend to compare ourselves to people we see in reality. So like maybe our neighbors or wherever, we tend to compare ourselves to people, and it's negative comparisons. It's not a positive one. Comparison can be good in some ways, but in a lot of ways it is bad. The third causes of low self-esteem has to be past failures or rejection. Most times we allow our failures or the things that we've tried before define us, or we allow rejection. Some people have applied for jobs several times and they don't even have the motivation to even apply for more jobs because so much rejection. So sometimes we allow those things define ourselves, which is not ought to be so. It's not supposed to be so. Then number 4 causes, which is my best, is toxic relationship. Toxic relationship can be a major cause of low self-esteem, because the person you are probably in an intimate relationship with have a huge impact in your life. So the way they treat you gives you a perception of how you see yourself. Now that we've highlighted these causes, so I'm going to be talking about each of it and the signs that this is a particular cause of your own low self-esteem. Okay, number 1 is childhood experience. When you constantly criticize yourself, when you constantly doubt yourself, when you constantly shy to take up responsibilities, is as a result of childhood experience. You are probably somebody who grew up in a home where you were being criticized a lot, or you were being told that you are dull. If you grew up in a home where you probably have other siblings and they were doing better than you academically, and you're probably the least one, not doing so well in books, and they constantly told you you are dumb, you are dullard, it will affect the way you see yourself in adulthood. When you grow up, you will tend to criticize yourself a lot. You will tend to be laid back, much laid back. You will tend to not want to take up responsibilities. You will tend to always want to look down on yourself. Our childhood is the most delicate and important time of our lives. Everything we do in life is as a result of either childhood trauma or childhood experience or whatever you see. Most of the time, if somebody grows up with so much criticism, lack of validation and neglect, they tend to not want to take compliments. For example, if somebody says, "Oh, your dress is lovely," instead of you to just say thank you, internalize it and be happy. Do you understand? You tend to want to say, Oh really? Oh thanks. Funny enough, I just got it for 1k. It's not that expensive. I'm talking 1k naira. You tend to want to downplay your achievement, not to, because who am I to receive such compliment? But the reason, but the truth is, who are you not to get such compliments? Who are you not to be told you look beautiful? Probably you've never been told that when you were young, as a child. You've never been told you are pretty, and when somebody tells you, you tend to want to downplay it, or you don't even believe it, because most times people that grow up with such childhood experience, they tend to doubt themselves a lot. So no matter what you tell them, they don't even believe it, because they cannot internalize anything you say. It's as a result of low self-esteem, and these things in adulthood, we tend to repress it. You don't want to remember. If you find yourself that you forcefully do not want to remember some things that happened in your childhood, you are just being repressive. You are repressing it. So you don't want to remember most of these things that happened. You know that there were lots of criticism, there were a lot of, but you want to probably romanticize. You know, we tend to romanticize the past a lot. You want to romanticize the past and say, oh, things were lovely. Oh, I can't remember. Things were done and lovely. The first major point of healing, or the first step to healing, is to remember these things. Journal. Write down your childhood experience. The things that your parents, you have to forgive. Don't hold anybody responsible for anything, or your aunties or whatever. Whoever has hurt you when you were a child, do not hold anyone responsible. Forgive them. But if you need to remember these things, you need to write it down. Heal from it, because you have to visit the past for you to be able to move forward. Yeah, so that's one sign. Learn to take compliments. Do not criticize yourself. Stop doubting yourself. Do you understand? Do not say, oh, I can't do this, or I cannot do that, because you've been told that you cannot, because you've been told, oh, it's not somebody like you who should be this or that. Jesus was born in Nazareth. Hello. Instead of asking yourself, who am I to get this compliment, start asking yourself, who am I not to get these compliments? Who am I not to be told I'm beautiful? Who am I not to be in a loving relationship? Who am I not to wear beautiful clothes? Who am I not to be told I look good? Do you get? Then number 2, comparisons. You know, comparison is a stealer of joy, and it still boils down to childhood experience. Most times, parents make this deadly mistake by comparing their kids. Oh, can't you just be, and not just with their fellow, not just with their siblings, with their friends, classmates, or what have you, or with somebody taking first position. Can't you take first like so? Can't you be this like this? Can't you be that? So this thing is something that will actually be embedded in us right from time. Then we grow up with it as an adult. You now tend to compare yourself with other people. Without you even knowing that you are comparing yourself, you probably feel that, oh, I'm good. You understand? I don't compare myself. I don't see other people. But internally, you actually do compare yourself. You actually feel somebody can easily make you feel small. Okay, let's say for example, the things that you do that you don't know. You visited a friend that just got a new car. You don't have a car, and this your friend just changed her car. She got a new car, and then she's trying to tell you, oh, that's my car parked over there. And you are trying not to be joyful. You are trying not to say, oh, such a lovely car. Well, somebody with a good self-esteem will say, oh, what a lovely car. What model is this? At least educate yourself. Even if you don't have a car, educate yourself about the cars now. Do you understand? One day you also own a car. You were, oh, the car is lovely. Yada. Somebody with a poor self-esteem will not even want to talk about it. Let them not look as if I've not seen car before. You quickly want to look past it and not even say it's good, and not even want to let it not look like. It's low self-esteem. If you cannot rejoice fully with somebody, especially with something that you do not have, you are battling with low self-esteem that you don't even think you have, or that you don't know that you have. So being able to rejoice with people, have conversation with people that are way out of your league without feeling low or feeling down or feeling like you are below them is a good esteem. You get? So it's something that you need to work on. If somebody is saying that, you cannot just, so sometimes when you say, this person is jealous, it's not jealousy. It's not just, don't just rush into conclusion that somebody is jealous of you. It's low self-esteem they don't even know they are battling with. That is why they cannot, it appears that they are jealous. Why are you comparing yourself to somebody? Somebody got something new and you don't have it. Why should you be upset about it? Why? Are they your twin? Even if they are your twin, Are they you? You don't have to. You don't have to be. You don't have to. So the number 3 cause, which is past failure or rejection. Okay, this one is also tied to childhood experience. This can be as a result of bullying when you were in school. This can be as a result of, oh, somebody broke up with you. So because of that, you start to feel rejected. You start to feel like you cannot amount to something good. You understand? When you've gone through a series of rejection or a series of heartbreak or a series of failures, maybe academic failures or what kind of failures, it tends to demoralize you, and you begin to use that as an evaluation for your life or of your life, and it's not supposed to be so. If the hurt you've been through in previous time or before is what is not defining your current life, is as a result of low self-esteem, and we should normalize therapy. You have to constantly talk to people, because you can't do it all on your own. You can't figure out life all by yourself. There are some times you need people to talk to. I do therapy a lot. I do therapy whenever I can afford, because therapy can be quite expensive. So I tend to always want to talk about my goals, how I feel, and therapy has helped me a lot of time. You know, there's a way we can allow our failure and rejection define who we are. There are some things that you want to do, but because of what you've done before that didn't work out well, you start thinking, oh, maybe this will also not work out, or maybe this will not. Maybe that didn't work out, because you know, as humans, you have to keep evolving, keep trying new things. I remember one time I watched an interview of Linda Ikeji, and she said she started a magazine, and she was just into that magazine, and she wanted this magazine to blow, and that was her life and everything. Okay, I think she said she started from modeling, then she stopped modeling, and then she went into magazine, and before she started blogging, it failed. Modeling also failed, and then she went into blogging, and look at what it was, that blogging that now got global, and that's what made her who she is right now. You get? So keep trying. You might try other things that have failed. You might even get tired. Like someone like me, I get tired, or I might do something today and I just get tired, or I get easily bored. The only thing I know that I have never been bored of or bored from doing is writing. You know, so just look for something that you can do for the rest of your life. Whatever you want to do, they have a lifespan. So what if you start now and say, I do this thing for 2 years, I'm not doing anymore. Okay, I used to sell wigs, and I told myself, people that are very close to me, they know this. I'm just saying it out in public. But I used to tell them that this is just a short time view for me. This is just a short time thing for me. I'm just doing at the moment. It's not as if I really want to. I see myself selling wigs for the rest of my life. Yes, I was making money from selling wigs, but that is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I have something I can do for the rest of my life, and I want to focus on that thing. You get? So failure, past failures, rejection, it doesn't really matter. Pick up yourself, keep going. Self-worth, how you see yourself, that's what matters. Shake it off, you know. Stand up from wherever you're falling from. Shake it off and continue like you never fell. I hope that works. The last cause, which happens to be toxic relationship. You know, there's this saying that when the devil wants to bring you down, he sends you relationship, and when God wants to elevate you, he brings relationship. That's what relationship does. So whoever, not just intimate relationship, friendship or what have you. So anything you want to do in life, your significant other can make or mar you. Maybe there's a point of your life, probably you're going to direction A, your significant other wants to go to B. It means that you have to divert your route to direction B, most especially if your significant other that is going to direction B is a man and you're a woman, and you know that culture, society, faith, religion, men will lead and women will follow. You get? So your life will just take another kind of trajectory. So who you choose to be your partner is everything. If you're in a toxic relationship, even if you have the highest esteem, it's going to go down the rail. You start seeing yourself less and less and less and less till you don't recognize yourself anymore. It has to be a constant battle of, you know, of survival. You have to feel like you have to feel like, okay, or you have to act like you are in a battlefield. And when you are in a battlefield, you fight for survival, you fight to the last end. So being in a toxic relationship is like a battlefield that you have to keep fighting. Like you are in a sinking sand and you are trying not to drown, you are trying to come up. That is how it is. So how you see yourself, the overview of how you see yourself, or the perception you have of yourself is much more important than the perception that people have of you. If somebody loves you less, or if somebody talks trash about you, and you don't see yourself in that way, you can be able to speak up for yourself and say, no, do not talk to me in that manner. You can be able to call it off and say no. Or somebody is being toxic towards you, you can be able to call them off, put them away, and put them in their place. But if you don't even have a good sense of worth, if you don't have a good perception of yourself, you're going to take everything. You take everything and anything. Everybody you meet is looking for the best way to use you. So you have to have a sense of self and worth. You have to know your worth to an extent, to a very large extent, that when somebody starts calling black brown for you, you know that no, don't tell me that this is black and I'm not taking it. And also, if you have a good self-esteem, you will not want to please other people. This old nice girl syndrome, you are going to drop it. You drop it off. Because why are you trying to please somebody? Why are you trying to be nice at your own detriment? Why are you trying to keep quiet when you have to talk? Why are you trying to make people happy? Nobody has the capacity to make anybody happy. Somebody's happiness is not in your hands. You can only be yourself. If they are joyous, it's okay. And if they are not, good. See a therapy. You need to incorporate the art of journaling. Write to yourself. Write them down. Write the things you want to change about yourself. We have to keep evolving. That's what life is about. You have to keep changing to an identity that you think that suits you, that's something that you admire, and you say, okay, this is exactly how I want to pattern my life around. Look for a role model. You don't have to have conversations with this person. Social media has made things quite easy. Follow them up, read about them. They drop materials, they write a book or whatever they do. Read it up. And you can pattern your life around them and say, okay, this is how I want to see myself. That is healthy comparison. Make a deliberate effort to love ourselves. Love yourself unconditionally. It's not selfish to love yourself. Just that loving yourself at the expenses of other people is what is selfish. So make a conscious effort into loving yourself and have a better and positive overview perspective about yourself. Thank you very much for joining my YouTube today. This is your first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, comment, share. It goes a long way. My name is Estelle. I'll see you next Sunday on another episode, and this is our last episode on my journey to self-love. Bye.